Hello, and welcome to the SMARKETING Show. Let me ask you a quick question. And Cheryl, I'll ask you maybe too. When is the last time you asked somebody for a testimonial?
Well, because I worked for you yesterday.
Okay. Well, okay.
Fair?
Bad example. But folks, listen, when is the last time you asked for a testimonial? And today's show is going to be about what I call the art, okay, because there is an art to it of collecting a testimonial. Now, Cheryl, we've all gone to a customer and said, hey, can you give me a testimonial? And then all of a sudden we put this workload on the customer to think about, okay, what am I going to say? What does he want? And so today we'll talk about who to approach, what type of testimonials you're looking for. I'll give you some approach strategies in terms of what to say. Cheryl, you'll talk about kind of examples that are working great for our clients and people can do themselves or use us or whatever. But the point is, not enough people are asking for testimonials. And today we want to help you get great ones to help you sell more because you're marketing better. Fair to say, Cheryl?
Absolutely. And I think everybody watching agrees, yes, you need to have testimonials in the mix-up of, we'll call it your marketing and sales collateral. But they sort of stop at the point of actually collecting it because they're not quite sure what to do past that point. They're on board. They just don't know what the next step is.
I just don't think it's top of mind. I mean, I had new garage doors installed in my house. I posted on LinkedIn the other day, and as the installer was packing up his tools, I said, hey, good job, guys. And he turned to me and he said, hey, Mr. Lambert, if you're happy, how would you feel about giving us a Google review? Now, that was an instinct move on an installer guy. Okay. What are our salespeople, marketing people doing? Hey, let's start with who to approach, okay? Obvious list here, but a lot of people are like, okay, who do I go after? Here's a list. Recent customers, people that just bought from you. They could not be more in love with you, hopefully, than that early point where they just made the purchase. How about your best customers? You've done a good job, great relationship. Loyal customers would fall under that umbrella as well. Now, the other thing, Cheryl, I think is great is visible customers. I know on the sell to win side, when we do a training program with a visible customer, 300 salespeople, people look and go, wow, okay, they're doing it as opposed to maybe some people are less visible. I'm not saying nix the less visible people, but people recognize. Repeat customers. Here's another one, industry specific testimonials. So if I'm a lawyer, I want to hear from other lawyers. And lastly, charities. And I know you've done some stuff around logo swapping and stuff like that and really helped our customers get testimonials from charities, which again shows how they're connected in the community.
Yeah. And even just to add on to the charity piece, Rick, I would say sponsorship. So if your organization is involved in some sort of a sponsorship with maybe an athletic or a sports organization, that would be a really good opportunity too. So I'm going to get into a little bit about the types of testimonials. So I think my favorite and probably your favorite is around video. If you can get anything on video, it will speak to the emotion behind the experience, which is ultimately what you want to do when connecting that story with a prospect or a potential customer. We just had a customer actually about a month ago that for the first time in a long time held an in-person customer appreciation event. And because of COVID, obviously everything had been virtual until that point. They were able to collect over 100 video testimonials in one evening just by going around. They had somebody with a camera. I think they'd actually hired a camera person for this event, but you can use your phone. Just go around and just start asking people, why do you do business with us? Why are you here today? Like, we're thankful for you and we've put this event on, but why are you still working with us? So that's video. Second is a photo. If potentially one of your reps is out, at a meeting or something like that, maybe they're supporting a charity event for the actual customer, like a golf tournament, any kind of photo that you can take of either the rep or the actual internal member and the customer themselves is great. I would also say you can use a photo of the customer's business. So if you're promoting a gym, let's say, because that fitness facility does business with you, how can you promote that business in a photo? Maybe it's a photo of the exterior establishment of the business, something like that. Just use something visual. The third would be a quote. So obviously you need to use a quote that this particular customer has said about their experience in working with you. We will talk about what makes the ideal testimonial coming up in a second. And then social media recommendations. So when I say this, you in the B2B space, you literally think of, LinkedIn as the only alternative. However, Facebook, Twitter, you can make recommendations on other social platforms as well. And I would just suggest throwing those platform handles out there and say, hey, we'd love to hear from you. Let everybody know what your experience has been like.
Love the idea, the videos at the event. I don't think enough people do it. And, videos, shorter is better, right? I mean, they're
Always.
great. You're the only one watching long ones. So video, pictures, quotes. And, I always suggest to salespeople, don't put it upon your customer to come up with a quote. Write the quote yourself. You're the one that knows what you want your prospects to hear. By the way, Cheryl, in case you can't hear it, I told the people doing construction on the office to bang when they like what we're saying. Okay, where to post? Okay, here's a classic: social media. People don't do it. They put it on their website, maybe, or whatever. Presentations, slide 2 of presentation. Hey, before we get going here, I just want to share with you how other people have experienced what we're going to talk about today. Proposals. Would you say that people believe you or third party more? You got to think about that. And when's the last time you put a testimonial in your proposal, even if it's a price quote? The website, obvious one, press releases, and of course, case studies. Now, when we asked our team this morning, what would you like to hear about testimonials? One of the things that came up was, hey, how do we ask for one? Because, rather than state the obvious, hey, Cheryl, can you give me a testimonial? I would say there's 3 ways, main ways you should be considering like approaching people about one. The first one I'll talk about is the mutual win. Now, we've used this with a lot of our clients, and I'll give you the talk track in a second here, but it's basically under the guise of, hey, if you give us a testimonial, we'll showcase your logo in some of our media. Okay, so it might sound like this. Hey, John, our company has asked me to collect a quick testimonial from a few of our valued customers in the area. And in turn, we would showcase your company name in our proposals, customer presentations, social media, et cetera, et cetera. Would you be open to that? So you see, there's a win-win right there. A lot of customers like that because it's free visibility.
I would throw in really quickly there, Rick, we talked about the testimonial swap. So if you're in a situation where you're actually doing business with your customer at the same time, which we've had with some of our clients, it's an opportunity for you to say, I'd love to give you a review on the service that I've had. Would you consider doing the same for your experience working with our company?
And, this sounds basic maybe to some, but if you go back and look at your last 20 social posts, you look at your last 20 proposals, you look at your last 20 other testimonials in it. That's why we're asking for this. You're talking about this. The straight request. Okay. This is a natural one to a good customer that you don't feel is going to be vulnerable, maybe to a competitor. The straight request might sound like this. Hey, Mary, my manager's asked me to collect a testimonial on your positive experience with our company. Would you be open to that? So again, would you be open to that? You're not saying give it to me. Would you be open to that? And again, I don't think we ask enough. Now, here's the classic, Cheryl. How many times, you and I'm sure the people watching right now, you've done something extra for a customer. They want to speed up delivery. They want a little extra, whatever it is. And you give it to them and you just say, hey, no problem. We appreciate your business. When that intersection, I think people could use to get a testimonial. For example, say something like in my trade-off talk track, hey, Chris, let me ask you this. If I can, whatever it is they're asking for, give you what you're asking for you, would you be willing to give me a simple testimonial I could use with future customers? And I think if you let the customer know at that point too, hey, and you'll create it for them. A lot of cases, you write the testimonial and it's for them to approve. Maybe they want to step it up on video. Just makes it a lot easier. But I think, again, people don't understand always how to approach, and they miss that intersection when we do something good.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Just as we wrap, there was just a couple of things that I wanted to go over. We sort of touched on some of them, but what makes an ideal testimonial, generally speaking, front to back? So the first is you need to have permission. So whoever you're asking this, make sure that they understand where you're going to be using it. You gave a list of all those different, great places that you could showcase these. I would also add email marketing in there too. We often would include, quotes or videos of what clients and customers are saying at the bottom. The second is low risk of competitor engagement. So you want to pick a client where you feel like maybe your competitor might not go after them for their business. So you want to kind of, reduce that profile a little bit there. The third is using a visible organization, which you talked about, somebody that has a high profile, in some regards can actually help you in terms of trust there, including numbers to measure the impact. So, since using our service, we have been, saved X amount of dollars and increased productivity by X. And then, you mentioned, if you write it and the customer approves it, that's a great option. I still would always love to hear what the customer says in their own words, because it might be something you're not expecting. They might actually say something better, and they might actually surprise you when discussing the positive experiences that they've had. So I'd always try to let them write it. And if for whatever reason you feel like that might be too big of an ask, then certainly you can give them something to approve. And then the last, of course, is include either the person's picture, a video, or an audio talk track. Maybe you can record them on a phone or over a phone if you're going to record just sort of a quick Q&A on what their experience has been like. And then you can just turn around and use that MP3 file.
The bottom line is, I think, why we selected the art of, collecting and using customer testimonials, just because we think it's such a powerful play, especially in this virtual digital world today, where people are looking for third-party validation. And we just think it's a missed opportunity. And there's so many ways to scale it, as we talked about, whether it's in text, video, audio, whatever, you can scale it in so many mediums. And we hope today that we've helped you, get more testimonials to sell more and make more of whatever it is you do.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. Good points, Rick. And thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next week on the SMARKETING Show.